What's up? What's up? Wait, hold on. Is everything working? Well, I hope everything is working. Yeah. What's up with it, y'all? Yeah. I meant to do this video a couple of days ago, but it's like weird because nothing seems to amaze me anymore. Dealing with this world and and people in general, and and even what people stand for. Times is crazy right now. So we working with a system that, like, we're playing with a system that wasn't made for us. Let's get that thing straight right there. We're fighting for a system that wasn't made for us. This system, it just wasn't. I hate to say it. Everybody want to change it, and we need to change this, and we need to change that. You can tell we've been changing it. It's still not going to work for us. It wasn't made for us, and we need to understand that. We need to understand that this system is not ours. So us working for this system and trying to better a system that wasn't built for you is like it's a lose-lose cause. It's like everybody is like really sleep and walking around drowsy because we're trying to make the system better, but the system wasn't made for us. It's like trying to play a Nintendo game on the Xbox or trying to play a PlayStation game on the Xbox. It's impossible. It wasn't made for that system. So when they created this system, they created for the ones that are in power, the ones that are running it. They created it for a certain race of people, whatever you want to call it. That's what it was made for. Now we come along and we say, nah, we want the system to work for us. If we fight, if we stand up and no, that shit don't work. It ain't never worked. They'll change it a little bit in order to make you feel good, but the system not ours. This is not our system. When we talk about the United States and we talk about all these different things this shit is not ours. It never was. It was created for a certain demographic of people that put us on the outside. So when these things happen, we need to go, damn, okay, well, what do we expect? The system is not ours. When you see the control and the power that they've been having over time of building these systems, they were always degrading. They were always built off the backs of the people that were basically working for the system, but the system never was made to work for them. You feel me? And we're trying to uphold and man, we need to stop all that. I'm telling you, this system is not ours, and it will never be ours. You feel me? That's why, look, this is how smart they is when they did us. When we tried to create our own system or tried to create our own things, what did they do? They stripped us of it. They came and they destroyed us and they took our systems away and they said, nah, you need to fight for this one. This is the one we created. Y'all need to stand behind this one. And it's like, when you start looking at it, you go, dang, bro, this shit ain't made to work for us. It's not made to work in our favor. They'll let a couple of us through the gate, but not all of us, bro. It's not made for it. Like, this is just, unless you're working for them. And that's what a lot of us do. Even when we get in power, we start working for them and we start preaching their words to our people, knowing that the system wasn't made for our people. It just wasn't. I hate to say it before we get into this video. I just had to say that, bro. So keep fighting for the system if you want to. You're going to keep on ending up with the same results, finding out the system was not created for you. It just wasn't. So you can try to tweak it. You can try to do anything. It wasn't made for you. I'm gonna say that before we get into this video. But now let's go on and get into this, because I kind of knew this was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen, but I'm gonna let other people speak on it, and then I'll just put my 2 cents in, because everybody like it's weird. You got to go back and you got to really pay attention to history and how people are and how people control the narrative of every story. Like I was talking about this the other day, the Salem witch trials. Go watch that whole shit and see how they started saying, they started going at witches and saying what witches were. And then they came out with laws in order to destroy the witches, which the witches was an illusion. Like, we know that is an illusion. Despite what we might think a witch is, it's still an illusion that was created by man. We steady create these illusions, and then we run around in the illusion and we try to fight for the illusion. And it's like, bro, what are we doing? Like, what are we ain't woke up yet. That's why I always say, bro, we Neanderthals. People are Neanderthal mindset of thinking, period. Period, point blank. Because if you got two kids that got into an altercation, something bad happened, and everybody want to bash these two kids. These are kids, right? Now, what about the grown-ups? Like these are grown-ups bashing these two kids. Like, and it's messed up that one of them had to lose their life. But then we get to choosing sides. We forget we fucking grown. We forget that we are grown in this situation. And what we need to do is come up with a plan so this don't ever happen again. But instead, we want to point fingers. We want to blame each other. None of us was there or had anything to do with the situation. But we'll rather sit back and point fingers at each other. Oh, you're white. Oh, you're black. Like, what the fuck is all this bullshit, bro? We got to stop with this. Like, I hate to say it, we have to. You feel me? And I'm just saying, this shit is crazy, bro. Like, I'm watching grown-ups. I'm like, what, we have to tell grown-ups how to be right in their feelings. Like, we grown and we got to turn around and we got to teach grown-ups. Like, you don't know how, like, people don't know how to treat people. People don't know how to act towards people. This shit don't make sense. It just shows you the mentality of everybody that's out there. This is our mentality. Our mentality is weird. Nobody wants to say that, though. Nobody wants to say how weird the mentality that we have running around thinking all these weird ass thoughts that we think. And then when things happen, what do everybody do? Everybody want to hide behind God. Everybody want to put it on God. Well, I hate to wake you up from your sleep. God is not here right now. We're here. We're the ones who has to change. We're the ones have to make the change. We're the ones have to do something. This shit is ridiculous to me right now. I hate to say it. It's all ridiculous. Like, humans is lost. Humans is lost, but you feel me? They say it's hope. No, it's no hope. There's no hope, bro. There's no hope for humanity. Not no time soon. Not no time soon. Because no matter what you're thinking and how you feel, out there is going to be somebody, 10 somebodies, maybe 1,000 somebodies that think the total opposite of you. And if harming somebody, hurting somebody, disrespecting somebody, if that's a part of your reality, then yes, you are part of the problem. Like, I don't care what race you are, what color you are. If harming, disrespecting, not having no feelings for other people and the way they are, bro, you are the problem. You're the problem. And it's like, it's just bad that us as grown-ups got to tell another grown-up that being racist is wrong. Like the whole child situation. It's crazy how, we as grown-ups got to tell other grown-ups, hey, that's wrong right there. Don't do that. You shouldn't talk like that. Like, we as grown-ups. So that lets you know the system already, like, people aren't people no more. People are the system. Because people are the ones that are creating the system. You got to understand, once the system came into play, the ones that kind of gain from the system, they don't want the system to change. I'm going to tell you again, you trying to change the system, you're fighting a lost cause. You can't win. The system was made to be like it is. Now, when the system came to life and the system was being the system, it began to be its own entity. Because now people are being the system because the system is its own entity. Now people are following it. and they're going to follow that shit accordingly, despite what we think. You feel me? Like, even when you wake up, you start seeing the shit, bro. You can't do nothing but sit back and laugh at everybody and go, like, for real, this is what we doing? Like, as grown-ups, as grown people? Like, ain't nobody grown. That's why I said, bro, you be 50, 60, 70 years old, and you still acting out as a teenager, still walking around acting like a teenager, like not knowing how to treat people, not knowing how to look at things as being right and wrong. Our whole concept of right and wrong is not even cool. It's like thrown off, bro. It's thrown off. But I think that's what kind of, like, because I could have still been making videos and doing all this stuff, but I'm like going this one thing after another with people. Like, what the, like, it ain't no use of saying nothing. Like, sometimes you just got to sit back and watch. Like, it's be the best thing to do. Sit back and watch these people be peopling. You feel me? That's why I call them, they're peopling. This is what they do. Then you have to go, dang, wait, hold on. If people are like this today, what led up to this? Have people changed over time? Go look at history. People ain't changed. People still hold on to the same belief systems. You feel me? And their belief system is right. Like, this is what I tell my kids. I said, okay, trillions of people didn't walk this planet, right? You come into this planet, walking this planet. You the trillionth, million, billionth person walking this planet, and now you doing the same thing. You thinking you right. Me, I'm like over, a trillion, billion. Here I come, and I'm thinking I'm right in this reality. Over time, this has always been the thing with humans. So each time that one of us, it seemed like we were correct in what we were saying and what we were doing, everybody else just followed. And then we held on to that belief system. And we kept that belief system. It didn't matter if that belief system was working for everybody, because everybody's belief don't work for everybody. Like even when it comes to religion, every religion don't work for everybody. It only worked for the ones that say they believe in that thing. You feel me? Everybody want to put God in a perspective of human thinking. Like, this is the thing I can't understand. Like, we so smart that we understand that, okay, if I do something to harm you, it's not just going to hurt you, it's going to hurt your family also. Like, that perspective. But then we say, okay, but if God is behind me and God is going against what I believe your family shouldn't be doing, then it's okay for me to do something to you. It's okay for me to do away with you. Like, with a lot of the Salem witch trials, that's what you've seen. Like, these people were using God to destroy people, to destroy people's lives. And that's why they got it on the name of that, on the back of the dollar. In God we trust. In God we trust, bro. Everybody want to always even bring God in the situation. Like God is going to come down here and he's going to stop everybody from being a certain way. He ain't did it yet. It's on us to better ourselves and be better towards each other. Ain't nobody going to save us from this planet. That's why they always tell you, okay, well, you have to wait until afterlife to begin to get the good parts of life. But okay, I'm gonna leave that one alone though. We just gonna go on and dive into this video. I just have to say that because I'm watching all this stuff and I'm just going, bro, what the now as what I just said, we're gonna get into the video and I'm gonna show you how corrupt people thinking is. People not looking at it like, okay, these are just two kids. One kid lost his life. We're going to always blow it out of proportion, make it way bigger. And this ain't the first time this happened. So I'm just saying, it's not going to be the last. But let's dive in. And let me get my glasses while I'm
mercy
at it
to
real
the guilty
fast.
is
Let me grab
cruelty
my
to
glasses.
the innocent. I want that to sink in for a bit. In less than 3 hours, a jury decided that Carmelo Anthony was guilty of murder for the stabbing, unaliving of Austin Metcalf at a track
Oh,
meet
wait,
in
I can't
April of
do
2025.
all
Additionally,
this stuff.
a
So it's
jury came
doing, yeah,
back, the
they doing.
same jury came
Yeah.
back in less than 3 hours and decided that Carmelo Anthony should spend 35 years in prison for this incident. Now, in Collin County, Carmelo Anthony will have to complete at least half of his time before he is eligible for parole. It is now lost on very many people that the halfway mark is roughly around 17 some years, like 17 and a half years, which is roughly the same age that these two young men were when this incident occurred. I want to also point out that there were no black people on this jury. And the jury came back with a murder conviction, that there was an option of murder and there was also the option of manslaughter. Now, murder is an intentional crime, meaning that you intended for this outcome. You intended to unalive somebody. So that means that for 3 hours, the jury deliberated, which in my experience, that means maybe one or two people had kind of held out and weren't quite sure, and most everybody pretty much had their mind made up. But in less than 3 hours, deliberated and decided that they did not believe in any shape, way, or form that Carmelo Anthony could have felt any type of fear in that moment, which prompted him to act in the way that he did. That they did not buy his defense, that he was trying to defend himself in any which way, right? Because even with a manslaughter conviction, which is a lesser offense of murder, manslaughter is not an intentional murder. It just says you were reckless in your behavior, right? You did something that was dangerous, and you didn't do it because you intended for someone to be harmed. Seriously, you knew somebody could get harmed. You knew this could end up in an unaliving, for example, but that wasn't your intent. You were just reckless. You were acting without really thinking, and that was the outcome. So they did not have any remorse and did not believe in any aspect of this young man felt any kind of fear. Now, Judge Roach, the judge in this case, is retiring this year. This is his last year on the bench. He did not allow any cameras in the room, so all the information that we were able to gather is based on what people who were reporting from inside the courtroom were able to jot down in their notes and bring out to us. Metcalf's mother, Megan, gave her victim impact statement, and she says to Carmelo, "You should be lucky you got 35 years because I got a lifetime." I have so much to unpack with this case, but I want to hear from you first. So first,
Now that's crazy when you even think about that right there. Okay, yeah, we know he should have got manslaughter because it wasn't something he planned. He didn't wake up in the morning, put a knife in his backpack, and say, "I'm about to stab somebody today." He didn't say that. You feel me? Like that. He just had the knife. That's what you know. Man, I was saying this the other day. Like my father passed away, and I gave my daughter his knife, and and she carried it around. And I had to tell her not to no more. But I'm just saying, if something like this would have happened, I would have been like stoked. I probably would have got in trouble because they'd been like, "Why would you give a kid?" It's like, man, that's from her grandfather. Who she loved a lot, and that was the last thing we had of her. So I gave it to her. But we don't know why he had this knife. But I don't think he woke up to go intentionally like, "I'm gonna stab one of these twins." Nah, come on now. We know that didn't happen. We know what he did was wrong. You feel me? But in the sense of him protecting himself from the laws, that's not wrong. But still, like, this dude lost his life, which I don't care. I don't care what happened. Somebody lost their life and they didn't have to. That's the way I look at it. That I'm not looking at it from a black and a white thing right now. I'm just saying somebody got stabbed and they didn't have to be stabbed. But at the same time, they didn't have to go over there and do what they did. It's like you put yourself in that position. Yeah, like that. And I hate to say it. This is why that's one thing that I always teach my kids also is watch out how you get at people and how you talk to people because you never know what a person has. That's like when we was young and we used to get in the fights, and remember, we'll go to somebody's house and call them out. And then you go and your mama find out, and your mama like, "Don't ever pull up at somebody's house trying to fight them. You don't know what they have." You feel me? You just don't. And I don't know, bro. This shit is kind of crazy. But in the comments say, I agree with the verdict, period. But Rick Child walked away innocent. Make it make sense. Yeah. They judged him guilty before the trial even started. Yeah, that's another thing they did. They felt like he was guilty before the shit even started. Before it even happened,
Okay,
they said he was guilty.
You
was
are an
already
absolute
guilty.
idiot if you're surprised Carmelo Anthony got found guilty of first-degree murder. Did y'all honestly in your head look at this pool of jurors and thought he had a chance? These are the people that started his fate, and y'all thought these people were gonna find him not guilty? White woman in her 40s, white man in his 40s, white man in his 30s, white woman in her 30s, white woman in her 30s, white man in his 50s and 60s. Asian woman in her 50s. I'll be real. I'll take a jury of all white men and women in their 30s before I take an Asian woman in her 50s, homie. Yo, Carmelo, listen, this to me, it's over with, bruh. Over with, man. Go down the line. White, Asian woman again in her 40s, Hispanic or Indian man in his 40s, Middle Eastern woman wearing a head covering.
I don't mean to stop it, but it's like kind of weird because I hope I get to the video of where his parents did the interview on the Breakfast Club, and the father was saying basically they were telling him not to speak out. They was telling him don't say nothing, keep your mouth closed, and there were certain things that they were telling him to do that he couldn't let out or let known what was going on, like even with certain things that happened. And I said, dang, I said any person of color that got into some kind of trouble and went to jail and you had to fight a case, all those people in that courtroom know each other. Everybody in the courtroom, if it's like, that's why people go and get lawyers outside of their city, because everybody in that city, they know each other. These people eat lunch with each other. They go on breaks with each other because they all work in the same courtroom. So they're always talking to each other. Like, this is known. This is fact. Like, when I got my time, which I shouldn't have got that much time, because my lawyer came to me and said, hey, your family said you should take a plea. And I'm like, wait, my family said I should take a plea, but hold on, I didn't do all this stuff that they said I did. Like, I don't mind pleading to what I did, but I didn't do all this. So they will play you against even your family, because the lawyers and the prosecution, they trade cases at times. I'll give you this if you give me this one. You know why? Because this one over here is paying more money. Oh, this one's going to start more controversy. This is what they do. They swap cases, and then they'll play upon you, because especially if you're young, and then especially they'll play upon your family also. They'll tell you one thing and tell your family a whole different thing. This is just what they do. Like, I know from experience.
In her 60s, the minorities they picked to represent Carmelo Anthony might as well just been an all-white jury report. Carmelo Anthony would probably have stood a better chance if it was all white. The most conservative white person can only dream of being as conservative as an immigrant in their 50s and 60s. The 50 and 60-year-old Asian and Indian women and men on that jury box probably grasped for air and held their chest when they was told Carmelo Anthony, a black kid, stabbed and killed that white boy. He stabbed and killed that good white man. Oh, they was ready to give Carmelo Anthony the death penalty there. I can almost guarantee the white folks probably protected Carmelo Anthony. If you would have put Carmelo Anthony and his fate in a room full of 60-year-old Asian women, 50-year-old Indian women and men, 40 to 50-year-old Hispanic traditionals, man, Carmelo would have gotten a death penalty, bro. Straight up. He made out good in my book, man. Right? Based on the circumstance. Now, we could talk about what I would have given him, but it doesn't really matter. Based on his circumstance.
Yeah, he said, I have no sympathy for whatsoever for Carmelo. Like, I can understand that, like, coming from somebody, like, if that was like a family member or something like that. But then sometimes you got to put the shoes on the other foot. Like, what if you was on the other hand and, and one of your family, like, did that? Like, I'm not saying that he was right. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, we know accidents happen. Like, he didn't wake up thinking that he was going to go and do that to somebody. It's like people that drive and get into car wrecks and then somebody pass away in the car wreck. You feel me? Like, shit happens, bro. This is life and things happen. But to say, okay, at 17, and this isn't something that he did on purpose, that he meant to kill this man. Because if he meant to kill him, bro, come on now, we know he would have stabbed him 1,000 times. We done seen that. We seen that on like many murder shows, to where the wife or the husband, attacked the wife, or vice versa. And what did they do? They overkill. No, he swung the knife one time and then got up out of there. He was more scared than anything. It's not something that he did on purpose. But at the same time, he shouldn't have had a knife there. Like, but I was talking to my mom about it. She said, well, boys carry knives. And I'm like going, yeah, that is right. For some reason, we do.
What he was being held up against, he made out good, man. All right, walked down to 35, come out in 17 on parole, come out at about 37, 38 years old. You straight.
After Carmelo Anthony was
he
found
did
guilty
have a
of
choice.
murder,
They
the
both
judge
had a
moved
choice.
directly into the penalty phase. Carmelo's mom took the stand, asking the court for.
I hate to say it because my mom was saying the same thing. She was like, I felt like he was wrong. He shouldn't have stabbed him and this and that. And it's like, yeah, we say that, but have you ever been attacked by a few people? You feel me? You got to be in the situation. And there's no way you can understand it if you wasn't in a situation like that, if you wasn't there. So it's like we're just talking out the side of our neck half the time. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to lie. We're talking out the side of our neck because we'll say all these different things, but we haven't been you have to be in that situation to understand it. And then if you already got a bias looking at it, then you messed up already. Because you already thinking that, this, and this. And it's like, bro, both of them kids was in the wrong. They all were wrong. Period.
Mercy on her son. In Texas, when it comes to murder, there is a wide range
Baltimore.
of how long someone's
Ooh,
prison
wait.
sentence could be. It is between 5 and 99 years. Today, jurors not only decided that Anthony was guilty of murder, but they also determined his sentence.
wasn't scary,
35
probably, though.
years in prison. He's now 19. He'll be in his mid-50s when he gets out.
I went back and forth on this case so much. I read everything. I looked at everything available. And ultimately, I came to the conclusion I wouldn't have convicted him of first-degree murder. Just wouldn't have. And what really flipped me, to be honest, because I'll be real, I was kind of in the middle. I really wasn't on the super pro Carmelo Anthony side. I wasn't on the super anti Carmelo Anthony. I was kind of in the middle. But what really flipped me was the language of Austin Metcalf did not have the authority to move or kick Carmelo Anthony from under the tent.
And that is the thing right there. Look, this is what's crazy. Every time I talk to a person my age or older, this is what they say. He should have just moved. And it's like, wait, hold on. What do you mean? Like, have you ever been a kid? Like, you a kid and another kid coming to you telling you what to do, what you should do. Oh, you gotta, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna be standoffish. Hold on. You feel me? I'm talking to somebody anyway. Like, the whole thing was wrong all the way around. And like, when you start a situation wrong, yeah, it's gonna end up bad. This is what happens. That's why we need to like our kids when they get into conflict, I'm not big on snitching, but I tell my kids, hey, if something happened, man, go grab a teacher or something like that in order so the situation don't get out of hand. Go grab a grown person and bring them over and let them defuse the situation. Don't try to defuse it yourself, because this is what it leads up to. Because a kid is just not going to let no another kid talk to him crazy or make them do something that they think they don't have to do. That ain't how it works. And everybody, I heard people saying, well, where was his dad? Where was this kid? Didn't have his dad in his life. This kid had his dad living in a home. It was like, it's not that, none of that shit matters. None of the color, none of that, all that other shit doesn't matter. The thing that matters is we need to teach each other how to be in situations. Like, and I hear what you're saying, bro. Like, what you said is like, a lot of situations we did walk away from because we knew we wasn't scared of the person. It's like, I'm not scared of you. I just know what I might do. We might get into a situation and I might end up offing you, or vice versa. But we just know how bad situations we can get. So a lot of times we learn to walk away. And I think, we can say, okay, he wasn't taught that. But no, you can teach your kids things, and at the same time they can go around it and do something else. Like the kids that shot up that mosque out here. You feel me? You think they parents was teaching them to do stuff like that? No, it was I just had a friend call me and tell me that one of his friends' kids unalived himself. And I'm like, well, what? And they were only 11. Like they wrote a note and everything. And like I'm going, dang, bro. I'm like going, wow, it's like weird. Life is weird. Life is just weird. And things just gonna keep happening. This is just a part of life. That's the way I'm looking at
And
it.
the reason
now.
why that's important to me is because Austin Metcalf put his hands on Carmelo Anthony. And if he didn't have the authority to move Carmelo Anthony from out of that tent, then there needs to be some leeway for how Carmelo Anthony reacted. Carmelo Anthony is what, 5'6", 130 pounds. Austin Metcalf is what, 6'2", they said, 215, 230. What could Carmelo Anthony have done physically to prevent himself from being violated and assaulted by Austin Metcalf? Austin Metcalf had already put his hands on Carmelo Anthony. What could Carmelo Anthony have done physically to stop him from further assaulting him? Not much and nothing. The knife was low-key his only defense he had. So I could not convict this man of first-degree murder if Austin Metcalf didn't have the authority to move him. If Austin Metcalf thought that Carmelo Anthony was under the tent and he didn't want him there, go get authority. Go get a coach. Go get somebody with authority.
Ain't that what I just said? That's exactly what I just said. Go get somebody. Like you a kid. You ain't supposed to be telling no another kid what to do like you got authority over somebody. Go get somebody and say, hey, look, can you go? Because once you go do it, yeah, it's going to turn into a back and forth. Like both these kids was wrong. And I don't think anybody's saying that. I feel like they both was wrong. You feel me? Like, period. They both was wrong.
But you took it in your own hands to put hands on this kid and move him yourself, and the kid got assaulted. He got assaulted first, and he reacted how he reacted. Now, in the case of Carmelo Anthony, now, obviously, you can't think ahead, and you probably did not know that if you would have swung this knife, he would have died. But if you're Carmelo Anthony, bro, you're looking at this like, son, you are murdering somebody in a tent with all of his friends as eyewitness. How do you think that's going to play out, man? All of Austin Metcalf's friends, all his friends were the eyewitnesses. You think they not talking to each other? You think they not figuring out what they're going to say? You think the prosecutors ain't sitting with them to walk them through what they should come on that stand and say? You think they would have came and said anything that would have went against?
Hey, it's wild too because he was saying, the dad was saying, even the lawyer he chose, everybody was telling him, you need to go get a white lawyer. I told him, bro, you need to go get a lawyer that ain't from here. Go get a lawyer outside of your jurisdiction, because if you don't, I mean, these people know each other. Like, this is how they get down. Like, period.
And he was found guilty. Good attorneys, huh? I mean, am I surprised at all? No. Because his attorneys fucking failed him. Period. So, you guys want me to do something? You better get a hold of Carmelo's motherfucking family, bro. Because in Texas, you actually can bring ineffective assistance of counsel claims and ask for a motion to new trial within 30 days after his sentencing. You normally can't do that in other states. That's apparently the procedure over there. And his family needs to fucking contact me. And then I'll get an attorney in Texas and work with that motherfucking attorney. They need to fire their motherfucking attorneys yesterday.
He hot.
His fight's just begun, man. So, yeah. Am I surprised? No. Not after I saw how this shit was going. 21 witnesses versus 6, and you don't even cross the 21? I mean, I'll leave that up to y'all. You better find Carmelo's family and tell them to get in my DMs, man. Because he just got fucking railroaded. Shouldn't have been first degree under any circumstance.
Yeah. We everybody already know that. Everybody know he got railroaded. You feel me? That it ain't saying that he didn't do it, because he did do it. But still, though, manslaughter. He didn't plan that shit, bro. There's no way.
We already got the money set aside for appeals bond. Why? All white jury. The judge and the DA are buddies, along with the dad, best friends. That's been
This
our
is what I
trump
was
card.
saying.
We've been holding. We already knew that. God has spoken, and you cannot make me believe that as many gray hair white women on that jewelry that's dealing with white guilt about going to heaven is not gonna have no compassion about a kid that's been straight A from the time he's ever read a book in school, has no history of violence, has saved children's lives by risking his own life by jumping in to save somebody from drowning. This kid has no violence. Austin, on the other hand, is a violent brute with some sexual rape allegations hanging on his ass. That's why, man, they coerce them kids. But one thing about kids can't lie to professionals under pressure. When you was told, when you gave a statement in the beginning, you can't come back and amend it later and say, well, I meant. No, what you said that night is law. Back up right up. All them white people talking about what they gonna do, they ain't gonna do shit, nigga. They ain't gonna do shit. When Makai Johnson and Galvin Long killed them motherfucking white police officers, you white motherfuckers didn't do a goddamn thing. Not no guilty. If you think they're gonna find him guilty and they just put manslaughter on as a charge and it wasn't on there in the beginning, you don't know law, cracker. You like the dumb white boy that had the whip. He can't spell either, nigga. Yeah. We already got the money set aside for appeals bond. Why? All white jury, the judge and the DA are buddies, along with the dad, best friends. That's been our trump card. We've been holding. We already knew that, but we wanted everything to play out how they had it. I can't wait till I walk. The family, we waiting on each other. Yeah. I've been riding with the family, nigga, since day one. I'm sorry, since day 5. White people mad because they poor. Nigga, I wouldn't give a damn about what happened. I got a show tomorrow. I'm getting rich out here off content creation. All you white people, you're still gonna be fucking poor, struggling with gas prices. Say, big dog, hey, I wouldn't have got me a Miss Lily. I wouldn't have got me a white woman. Yeah, I wouldn't have got me a white woman. I'm finna treat her like she black today.
Charleston White something else. Charleston White something. I wonder where all this information is coming out. You know, but I kind of knew that, you know, like certain ones within there were friends. You know, like that's just how it plays out within the courtroom. Like for the ones that don't know, like these, like I said, these people they see each other. You got to understand, it's like you going to work at McDonald's every day and not knowing the people that's on the grill or on the register or who the manager is. When these people go to these courtrooms, everybody know each other. Some of them went to the same law schools. They all been around each other for a long time to where they become friends, even if they don't like each other. Like they become friends. They eat lunch with each other and everything, bro. Like it's the trippy. And not just, this is the cold thing about it, not just the ones that's inside the courtroom, not just the judges, the prosecution, the lawyers, the public defenders. No, we're talking about COs. We're talking about parole officers. We're talking about police officers. Yes, bro, they're friends. They all know each other. This is how, you know, certain cases can come through depending on who made the arrest and different things like that, bro. And they, you know, and people will get a gang of time behind it because these people know each other. They've been around each other for the longest. And you're talking about a judge. They talking about, you heard the one lady, she said the judge is supposed to retire after this year or whatever. Like, come on now. So just think, he knows everybody. Everybody that works there, he knows them by name, by heart, friends, like period.
I didn't expect him to find him guilty, but not 35 years for his first time offense for a kid. That's pretty wrong.
It's just sad that it had to come to this. It was just a bad decision he made, but he took a life, and it's unfortunate that 2 young lives are affected so negatively about this.
Jurors in North Texas handed down a 35-year sentence in the case of a deadly high school track meet stabbing.
A 17-year-old died in that stabbing last year. ABC 13's Jeff Ealing is joining us now with a new reaction from overnight. Jeff.
Good morning to you. Those in the courtroom say families on both sides became very emotional, and outside things were just as intense as a large crowd had gathered. The case centered around a track meet in Frisco outside Dallas when prosecutors say Carmelo Anthony walked under a tent belonging to a rival team. The victim, Austin Metcalf, was a member of that team after Anthony was.
I'm gonna tell you, any videos that was recorded, because come on now, somebody, this shit was caught on video. There's no way that it wasn't. Because whenever something's about to go down, nobody go and try to stop. They pull out their phones and they start recording.
Asked to leave. Police say Metcalf shoved him, and officers say Anthony pulled out a knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest. The case has fueled debates over race. Anthony was black and Metcalf was white. People outside the courtroom reacted to the verdict.
I didn't expect them to find him guilty, but not 35 years for his first-time offense for a kid. That's pretty wrong.
It's just sad that it had to come to this. It was just a bad decision he made, but he took a life, and it's unfortunate that 2 young lives are affected so negatively about this.
And that's crazy because he ain't never been arrested before, never been in trouble. Straight A student. Yeah, they didn't bring up none of that. Which is just barnacles. All they did was point the finger and made it seem like he was just a bad person, and he planned this. Like, he woke up in the morning, he planned to go stab somebody. Nah.
My son didn't intend to hurt anyone. My son was defending himself.
It took less than 3 hours for a jury to reject 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony's claims of self-defense in the stabbing death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Prosecutors argued Anthony intentionally killed Metcalf after being taunted and shoved by Metcalf and his teammates at a high school track meet.
Take us inside that courtroom. What stuck out to you?
What stuck out to me, number one, was the all-white jury. But I was trying to be, like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, the truth is on our side.
At the sentencing hearing, the defense called only one witness on Anthony's behalf, his mother, Kayla Hayes.
What did you tell the jury?
To have mercy on my son.
What do you say to his grieving family?
It's unfortunate to where nobody wins. We've all been hurt by this. Everybody.
That poor boy is fixing to experience a life that I would not wish upon anyone.
Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff, called Anthony's sentencing bittersweet.
What it boils down to for me is this. Austin will never walk through that door again and never give me a hug.
The case drew national attention, prompting protests in support of both teens. And both families involved say they've received threats.
This morning, I've had multiple emails, texts, threatening me, calling me all sorts of names.
During our interview, the Anthonys made a point to call back one man they say continues to dox them.
Why are you calling me, man?
Make fun of you.
Both families urged supporters to tame their emotions.
I forgave him. But people need to understand about forgiveness. Forgiveness was not for him. Forgiveness was for me, so I don't carry the rage, the hate, and that around. It will eat me up like cancer.
At the end of the day, there's nothing we can say or do for people to accept us.
I told you now, look, it's grown people out there calling these people, both sides, threatening them. Grown people, bro, like, what the hell? Like, I told you, man, we live amongst a bunch of cavemen. Like, these people is cave people for reals, man. Like, when you wake up, like, man, get your mind right. Like, why is people so disrespectful? And the truth is, both sides lost, period. One is going to be gone for a long time. The other one never coming home. By the time he get out, if they don't go and try to do another whole thing on this case again, then he probably won't make it home before his parents is gone.
So Carmelo Anthony gets found guilty of ending the life of Austin Metcalf, and people out there, full-grown human adults, are actually upset because they were supporting him because the color of his skin matched theirs. And they expect that people like myself will also take up for him. I'll be the first to tell you that nothing could be further from the truth. I will never stand with those kinds of people, and neither should you. See, all the BLM or this or that or diversity buzzwords, so on and so forth, it was never about that. It was always about black supremacy. You know it, and I know it. Like, we're at a point now where individuals will literally crowdfund for someone who ended the life of someone else who honestly had no business bringing a knife to a track meet in the first place, but I digress. But this is the world we live in, and this kind of anger, this kind of vitriol can truly only come from this deep-seated hatred of white people. That really is what it boils down to. And the fact that people are upset that we got the accurate verdict handed down goes to show just how many people out there really do think that black people should be allowed to play by a different set of rules. And I will not stand with those kinds of people. There's plenty of people out there who are tired of seeing the way that many in the black community have been allowed to act for so long, and they're getting tired of it with very, very good reason. I myself am one of them. So I am happy that we actually were able to get a guilty verdict, and I'm hopeful now that the sentencing portion will actually give him a punishment worthy of that crime. Those are my thoughts. Hopefully you agree.
Look, this is what I hate, man. I hate this. I can, when I say I hate something, this is one of the things that I hate, is when things that are said about a race of people, right? The people within inside that race begin to believe it themselves. It's like you begin to believe all these things. Like, everybody is not crazy. Like, all races is not like every race of people has not lost their mind on this planet. Like, it don't matter what color you are. Death, murder, killing, stabbing, shooting don't have no color on it. It just doesn't. It never did. Those things don't have a color. These are people that are just doing weird shit. You just got weird people in the world, and stuff happens. Shit happens. Everything happens today. This is part of it. But you can't blame one race of people and say, well, yeah, we're tired of them because this. What about how you act? What about how these people been acting for years? What about how those people been acting for years? It's the same all around the board. Like, people just need, man, people are Neanderthals, bro. I'd say it again, Neanderthals. Like, people aren't even people no more. People are the framework of the place they live in. People aren't human. We're like not human. We're walking around, we're not even human anymore. We're only our beliefs, our ideas, and the place that we live. That's what we are. We're not humans. Like, we took that out. That shit been gone a long time ago. Now we are only our beliefs. Nothing more than that. We let our feelings, our emotions, and all this other shit control everything that we do. I'm just saying.
I knew it. That they was not going to give Carmelo Anthony a fair trial. This whole trial was rigged against him. It was built for him to fail, to get the guilty verdict. Only reason why I say this is because the fact that it was 12 jurors, all was white. I believe that they was being biased towards Carmelo Anthony, and they should go back and retrial this whole case. New judge, new jury, okay? Because once I seen the photos of Austin Metcalf's father with the DA and the judge, I already knew right then and there he didn't stand any chance against them. Carmelo Anthony literally is cooked, knowing that the people in that state, in that town, are coming together for the wrong things. They're trying to put a young black man behind bars that was getting bullied by twin brothers and other kids, and he finally came to his breaking point. If Austin Metcalf would have went to an adult and told the adult what was going on with Carmelo Anthony, he would still be alive today. He died because he was being a bully. That's what happened, him and his twin brother. And then this boy, only thing he could do was defend himself. I just hope and pray that it's somebody that can actually.
Bro, they don't fight for bullies these days. You feel me? The bully is the one that's always in control. Like your kid can get bullied at school, and the school 9 times out of 10 ain't gonna do shit. They gonna just make it seem like, well, just tell them to stay away from them, or they're not gonna do shit. They will let it keep happening because of the person that's doing it. This shit is hella weird, bro. But let me know how y'all feel about this case. This case is just, I don't think it started off as a white and black thing, but that's what the world gonna turn it into. That's what they're gonna, anything that happens, that they're gonna make it into a race thing. This is just people being ignorant people, and everybody's ignorant to the fact that these were two kids in the altercation. Two kids in the altercation that it probably shouldn't have ended up the way it did, but it did. It's not the first time this has happened, and it's not going to be the last. That's the period. It's not going to be the last. This has happened so many times. I probably can go and find 1,000 cases, maybe more than that, of this thing happening right here. And I'm just saying. Give me your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Make sure y'all